Hello everyone, my name is Ehi Aimyo and I'm the founder of edofolks.com. Welcome to the Edofolks Report. I'm also the author of numerous articles on the New England Informer, the New York Amsterdam, Jamaican Observer, the Guyana Chronicles, the Times of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Nigerian World. Today we're going to discuss Professor Marc Lamont Hill, who is the liberal analyst in Fox News channel. On Fox News channel, I mostly watch him all the time on Bill O'Reilly, and I'm impressed with the kind of man that he is. He's able to stand up comfortably to Bill O'Reilly, express his opinion freely, speaks on behalf of the voiceless, present the Black or African American opinion without shame, and we love him a lot. But I believe about 4 days ago we heard that he was fired by Fox News. We saw it coming. We understand that the GOP or the Republican organizations have no regards for minorities, have no regards for immigrants or our views or opinions. So when it came, we were not shocked. We were surprised that it lasted that long, but it's off the air now, and that's okay. But we'll talk about it and we'll address it. First, I would like to ask some questions in regards to Fox News. Do we really think that Fox News and Bill O'Reilly is fair and balanced, no spin zone? I don't think so. How come the liberal or the democratic anchors or analysts don't last that much unless they are Uncle Toms or people who are willing to betray their ancestors or race or even their children just for a buck, like one Williams? What about Alan Combs? He used to be the partner of Sean Hannity, and as soon as the election was over, Obama was in office, we didn't see him anymore. I mean, I didn't see him on Fox News. What was going on? But he was there, I believe, through most of the time during the election. I guess the table turned and they didn't really want liberals to be strong and tough anymore on Fox News because they had to now focus on bashing Obama. So I don't think it's a fair and balanced station at all. It's only for Republican opinion or so-called Democrats or blacks who act liberal but deep down in their soul are conservatives. A columnist by the name of David Horowitz commented in the news or protested among many other conservative GOP protesters against our beloved professor, Professor Marc Lamont Hill. Some of the things David Horowitz said was that all he could talk about, it was his degree or his speciality was on hip-hop culture. So therefore, he has no intelligence in speaking about foreign affairs. What about George Bush, former President George Bush? What kind of intelligence or education did he have? But he made a lot of foreign affairs decisions in the past 8 years that led us to unnecessary wars in Iraq and discredited America as a nation. Where was David Horowitz when all this was going on? But here comes an educated black man who speaks on behalf of his people, who takes our opinion out there and says what he knows about foreign policy, gives an opinion, an educated man, a researcher, and they say he's not qualified to speak. That was wrong. That was close-minded on behalf of Mr. Horowitz. It shows the inferiority, the close-mindedness, the selfishness and the wickedness of the GOP party against minorities, immigrants, and black people. He also said that the opinions of Professor Lamont Hill was an embarrassment, was an insult to African American intelligence. Mr. Horowitz, hold on here. An insult to African American intelligence? Who are you to speak on that issue? Are you African American? I am African American. We are African American, and we loved him a lot. He spoke for us. So you're in no position to say he's not qualified to speak on our behalf. We're not ashamed of him at all. We loved him. And moreover, you guys have to realize that sometimes what you think is good for you or what you think is good for America might not be the same for us. Maybe what is good for you is actually bad for us. And what you feel is good for America may be the very thing that is holding us back economically and politically. So there have to be a meeting point among the races where we have honest and open dialogue, where we listen to each other, and then decide how we're going to create a great nation for both of us. Fox News can't keep kicking out our news anchor who speaks for us and embrace Gwan Williams. Gwan Williams, who supported Rush Limbaugh against, Warren Ballentine on Bill O'Reilly's show. I guess if you want to make it in Fox News or Republican institutions, you have to pretend to think and act like them, even though you were not raised that way. Pretend that that way of life is good, even though it's a way of life that stands against the progress of your children. Finally, my advice here is that minorities maybe should avoid GOP organizations for employment or for jobs, because it's a waste of time. I have worked with 2 Republican organizations here in Atlanta, and it was a horrible experience. You are not free to be yourself. You have to, they have to order you around, degrade you, tell you what to do, and you better not speak up. Otherwise, they pretend to be scared of you. They can't work with you anymore. You're no longer a team player. They will complain and begin to write things about you, put things in your file so your file can be this thick, and then they can use it as a justification to get rid of you. And then they claim, oh, Georgia is at will state. They can fire you without any cause or without any reason. Believe me, I've experienced that, and that's what Professor Marc Lamont just experienced. This is what forces people like, Gwan Williams, to act the way he does. Because the day he decides to be himself and represent his children, that is the day he gets fired and loses whatever billions of dollars they pay him at Fox News. So my advice to Marc Lamont, don't be sad. It's okay. Let's move on. If you ever take a job with a Republican or GOP institution, just know you're not going to last as long as you represent God, you represent truth and honesty on behalf of your community and children, and you show your love for your nation from your own perspective, you will not last. But if we can, let's avoid them. It's better sometimes to be unemployed than to go take a job where you don't belong. But right now, unemployment in America as black people is 18%. Maybe if we ignore those Republican jobs and maybe our unemployment raises up to 50%, then the federal government might have to take action. And maybe think about reparation, maybe for slavery, so that we can start and own our own businesses. Because we can't compete right now. We don't have the resources, nor the education to do so. So, on behalf of myself, my family, and the black race in America, and all well-meaning Americans, I give a round of applause to Professor Marc Lamont for a good job on Fox News, and I know you do very well. Well, for you guys can go to edofolks.com or click on the link to the right of your YouTube screen. A Calabash Never Sings is a book I wrote about international students or foreign students in American colleges, what they go through culturally, socially, economically, politically. And it's a book we can read to open up our minds about diversity in this great country. Thank you and God bless. And always go back to YouTube to read all our Edo Folks or view all our Edo Folks reports. God bless.